Yeah, guys, we are going to discuss another important topic in the international organizations and events. These organizations are the most important organizations. There may be a question from this organization, which is World Bank and IMF. World Bank, as you know, it is the bank of Supreme Bank of Global, and IMF is the Supreme Emergency Fund they can release for the all countries in emergency situations. So, these are the financial institutions are the most important institution for any economic growth of any nation, okay? Yeah, throughout the world. So, we are going to discuss the World Bank structural organization and their role in the world, okay, and as well IMF also. These are the like childs of one mother, that is Bretton Woods Commission, okay. Yes, this World Bank IMF are origin at the same time and same place. There is a commission which is Bretton Woods Commission. So, we are going to discuss about it today to crack the details of IMF and World Bank, okay. Yes, and World Bank, this is the World Bank, this is the world, okay. What is the role of World Bank? Yep. Okay. Yes. Guys, just look into these guys, that is Henry, White, and there is a Keynes. So, these guys are from Britain, okay. Yeah, they created World Bank, okay. Yeah, history of World Bank. World Bank was created 1944, Bretton Woods Conference. Bretton Woods Conference, World Bank and IMF are the key for this conference, okay. That is World Bank and along with International Monetary Fund, IMF, International Monetary Fund, IMF and World Bank are the child of this Bretton Woods Conference. Bretton Woods Commission is there. The presidents of World Bank is traditionally American, okay. These guys are Americans, okay. Yeah. So, this is the bank and the IMF both are Washington DC each other. The location is Washington DC, America. The capital of America, Washington DC, okay. Yes, and we are going to discuss about World Bank right now. This is established 1944, July 4th, 1944, July 4th. It is intergovernmental organization and the local status is treaty about nations, and purpose is, this is important, economic development, poverty elimination. The purpose of World Bank established in this commission, okay. Purpose of World Bank is economic development and poverty elimination, okay. Yes, and if come to the membership, 189 member countries are there all over world, okay. World Bank members, okay. The president is Ajay Banga. The president of World Bank is Ajay Banga, is Indian origin, okay. Indian origin, is elected in year 2023, okay. Elected year 2023. Ajay Banga is the president of World Bank, okay. He is the Indian origin, guys, okay. Yes, this is the body of United Nations. This is the body of United Nations, okay. Obviously, we know World Bank is the body of United Nations, is established. The purpose is economic development and poverty elimination, okay. 1944, it is origin from the conference of Bretton Woods Conference. Bretton Woods Conference, there are two organizations origin, one is World Bank and another one is IMF, International Monetary Fund, okay. Yes. Yeah, more about World Bank, okay. Yeah, World Bank is detailed notes for competitive exam. It is the group of bank. World Bank is the group of bank, mean there are 5 branches are there in the World Bank. They are going to make a different role, okay. there is a different type of issues overall world, they can take the responsibility of 5 banks. Okay, World Bank is the group of bank which is family of 5 international organizations that provide financial and technical assistance to developing countries. Okay, and for the development for the programs like education, health and infrastructure. Education, health and infrastructure. Okay, just look into here, guys. Okay, World Bank is the group of banks, okay, that is the family of 5 international organizations, family of 5 international organizations that provide financial and technical assistance to developing countries for the development of programs like education, health and infrastructure. Okay, it is the goal to reduce poverty and support development. World Bank is for development. World Bank is for development, not growth. IMF is emerging fund, not for development. Okay, World Bank give the long term loans, IMF give short term loans. Okay, these are the key difference between World Bank and IMF. Okay, headquarter is Washington DC, United States. Headquarter is Washington DC, United States. It is established in 1944 during the Bretton Woods Conference. Bretton Woods Conference 1944. Okay, they can ask you which one of the following international organization which is established by Bretton Woods Conference, that is IMF and World Bank, both. Okay, at the same time, same conference. Yes, 5 institutions are there in under World Bank, right? 5 organizations work under World Bank. They separate their unique functions, guys. Okay, yes, this is also most important slide for you exam. Okay, what are 5 institutions under World Bank? Okay, that is financial institutions, of course. IBRD, that is International Bank for Reconstruction and Development. International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, which is established by World Bank itself. Okay, World Bank is originated from 1944, right? The year 1944. At the same time, we along with World Bank, IBRD also origin as a branch. Okay, that is International Bank for Reconstruction and Development. What they can role? Focus on loans, middle income and credit worthy poor countries. Focus on middle income and poor countries, guys, for the development. Okay, loans for the middle income and credit worthy poor countries. Okay, IBRD. IDA, next organization is IDA, established in 1960, guys. Okay, from World Bank. From World Bank, this branch, this institution is origin IDA, International Development Association. International Development Association. What they can do? Okay, concessional loans, grants for poor countries. Okay, loans, grants for poor countries. They can ask you, guys, they can give you institutional name, this financial institution name and their role. Okay, their function they can ask you. Okay, next IFC, International Finance Corporation, 1956. IFC, International Finance Corporation, that is to give the private sector development. This is different, right? Private sector development mean any like business people has to take this loan from this IFC, International Finance Corporation. International Finance Corporation, it is about private companies, guys. MIGA, MIGA, Multilateral Investment Guarantee Agency. Multilateral Investment Guarantee Agency, which is established in 1988. It is for political risk insurgents political risk insurgents to invest. Guys, any political uncertainty took place, like Taliban is occupied their civilian government. In that condition, that guys, they can get loan from the MIGA, Investment Guarantee Agency. Okay, yes. ICSID, International Center for Settlement of Investment Disputes. This is 1966. Any disputes between the nations, like disputes resolution between the investors and countries. India is not member of ICSID. India not member. India is not member, guys. I hope you guys understand. This is the branches of, these are the institutions, branches of World Bank. They have unique functions. Okay, just look into here. This is the institution, this is the function, guys. Okay, I hope you guys understand this. Okay, yep. Next, important reports by World Bank. Important reports which is released by World Bank, most important, that is World Development Report, World Development Report, and ease of doing business, okay, and poverty and shared prosperity report, and global economic prospective report. Guys, these 4 kind of reports released by World Bank. We are going to look into these report in the coming sessions. Okay, yeah, there are indexes which are released by such institutions. We are going to discuss separate class. Okay, ease of doing business, like ease of doing business report, World Development Report, what this says. Okay, what are the countries are like merit, like rank. Okay, we are going to discuss in the coming sessions, guys. Okay, these reports released by World Bank. These reports released by World Bank. This is the most important. They can ask you MCQs, which one of the following report is delivered by which institution, like World Bank, IMF, okay, World Economic Forum. Okay, these are the financial institutions, World Trade Organization. Okay, these are the financial institutions. They made many reports and indexes. Okay, we are going to give a class for all indexes released by all institutions, economic institutions or environmental institutions, okay, or health institutions. There are reports, such a reports which is delivered by international institutions. We have one session about that indexes, guys. Okay, yes, yeah. World Bank, India. What is India role in World Bank? What are the current relevant of India? India is the largest borrower from the World Bank. Major funded sector are rural development and health. Mostly India took money for this rural development and health, transport and environment also. There are some projects in Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Maharashtra, such a recent PM ABIM, that is health emergency preparedness, digital initiatives and Clean Ganga mission also. Clean Ganga mission also under World Bank, guys. Clean Ganga mission is the project which is to made water, Ganga river water and river countries. There is a river states which are infrastructure development, guys. Okay, yes, yeah. Current affairs relevant to the World Bank. Ajay Banga as appointed as World Bank President 2023. World Bank to provide 1 billion for India climate resilient agriculture, 1 billion. Country Climate and Development Report CCDR released for India 2023. Okay, we are going to look into that report later. India to receive World Bank aid for urban development, Tier 2 and 3 cities. Tier 2, Tier 3 city urban development, especially infrastructure development. India took money from World Bank, guys. Okay, yeah. Next another important organization, IMF, International Monetary Fund, IMF. Okay, yeah, International Monetary Fund. Yeah, International Monetary Fund Guys, just look into here. World Bank give loan for the development for long term, okay. IMF give loan for the emergency for short term. Emergency mean there is a disasters or balance of payment problems or disasters. Okay, balance of payment problems and disasters. Guys, there is a difference between World Bank and IMF. World Bank give the loan for the long term development projects. Long term development projects mean there are projects, infrastructure projects for the development, okay, and there is any production is going to take place, like any development, if any agriculture based development projects are there, okay, and water resources development projects are also there. There is such a development projects are river based, okay. World Bank going to take initiative, give the production, profit from the sustainable use. If come to the IMF, irrespective of development, they can give the loan if any country emergency. There is a Sri Lanka crisis is there, immediate crisis is there. In that time, IMF give the money. Okay, there is a war against Russia and Ukraine, right? Ukraine going to under the like pressure like inflation. In that condition, IMF can secure them and provide money. So emergency purpose, if there any country like very high inflation country like Zimbabwe, there is a high inflation country, even they can take the tea, they can heat the tea with their currency notes. That much of inflation took place in Zimbabwe. In that condition, IMF take responsibility to give their assistance, mean that is the balance of payment crisis, guys. Balance of payment crisis is what? That is about international trading, invisible and visible income, okay. Is there any differences of their secure income, okay. We are going to discuss about balance of payment, okay, balance of trade, and there is a capital income also. There is any capital resources are there, okay, that can be decreased, that leads to that country into the inflation, okay. In that condition, the IMF take responsibility, give the assistance for that such countries, guys. IMF is for emergency, World Bank is for development, okay. This is keywords for difference between World Bank and IMF, okay. Yeah, IMF, we are going to discuss IMF. It is International Monetary Fund, okay. International Monetary Fund, this is specialized agency of United Nations. Headquarter is Washington DC, that is America. It is also 190 countries are member countries. It is the mission for working faster global monetary cooperation, immediate, okay, secure financial stability, any country going under inflation or recessions, okay. International trade, balance of payment, international trade mean balance of payment, to promote employment and sustainable economic growth, to reduce poverty also, it is part of IMF role, okay. Yeah, IMF act as lender of last resort, mean it can be help the final stage of the country which is going to down, okay. Yeah, It is potential of balance of payment, potential of balance of payment. This word you have to be remember guys, balance of payment. Okay, balance of payment is what? Balance of trade, okay, and capital. Balance of trade and capital. Balance of trade is what? It is invisible and visible. Invisible nothing but it is export or import, export of import of services of a country. Okay, visible mean it is the trade of goods of a country. Capital mean their assets, mean the investments. This is about balance of payment. Okay, we are going to discuss in the chapter economy guys. Balance, these conditions, any emergency has to done, the immediate action is going to take place by IMF. Okay, yes, and it is established in 1944 like World Bank, at the same time Bretton Woods Conference. Okay, these guys are that time they are mayors in that conference. IMF came to the formal existence from 1945, 29 member countries first initially. Okay, later on it is 190 members guys. I hope you guys understand this. Okay, yes, and International Monetary Fund overview. Okay, short notes. It is exchange rate stability that can be help and provide short term financial loans. Okay, financial assistance and balance of payment problems. Headquarter Washington DC, United States. Okay, yes. Established 1944 at Bretton Woods Conference, came into force 1945. Okay, operations from 1947. Then don't ask you operations and all. Establishment they can ask you. Yeah, member countries are 190. India is founding member. That is good. Okay. Yeah, managing director is Christina Georgieva, and this is about emergence market economy. Okay, emergence market economy. Yeah, objectives: to promote international monetary cooperation, facilitate balanced growth of international trade, and promote exchange stability, provide temporary financial aid to the countries of balance of payment crisis, reduce global poverty and promotion employment. This is also important. Key for the IMF and World Bank, both are together work here. This is IMF and World Bank, both work here for this condition. Okay, yes. I hope you guys understand this. Yes. Guys, economy is very interesting, very easy. If you crack exam, competitive exam or not, the economy will help you in your life to make something better. Mean, if you are invest any business, you have an idea about global. If you invest any money or like trading and everything, you must know the economy knowledge, guys. Okay, yep. What is taxes, what is banks, okay, what is money, everything you must know through the economy itself, irrespective of your cracking exam or not. Okay, yes. Functions of IMF. Okay, it can be provide global economic trends and policy. Mean IMF also release some indexes. We are going to discuss IMF, what type of indexes they release for the economy. And lending, it can be provide short to medium loans for the member countries only, for the member countries only. This is the keyword. IMF give loans for the member countries only, but World Bank, they don't consider whether it is a member or not, they can help. World Bank, they can help for the poor countries also, irrespective of their members, but IMF, they can provide loans for member countries only. This is the key word for between them. Okay? Yes, capacity development, okay, trains member countries to areas where the fiscal policy, taxation and banking, they can give the guidelines. What is the fiscal policy mean? There is a budget and financial statement every year going to took place, right? So in that way, there is a fiscal policy, how they can manage their country with the policy, guys. Okay, what are the policies they can make for the development or for the investment or for the expenditure? Okay, these kind of issues are there. IMF give the guideline for the member countries. Okay, taxation, how much they can provide, subsidies, how much they can provide. Okay, in that condition, this IMF take the responsible to give the direction for the member countries. Okay, yes, research and reports, of course, they can report, they can release some reports, guys. We are going to discuss the reports which is delivered from the IMF and World Bank. Okay, next coming sessions we are going to discuss that indexes, guys. Okay, and important IMF reports are what? World Economic Outlook, WEO. There is a institute is there, another institute is there, World Economic Forum. This is World Economic Outlook. World Economic Forum, they don't release World Economic Outlook. The IMF can release World Economic Outlook, the report. We are going to discuss in the coming sessions. Okay, yeah, Global Financial Stability Report and Fiscal Monitor. Okay, this is important, guys. World Economic Outlook report, that is every 2 years they can release this report. Every 2 years, for every 2 years they can release World Economic Outlook. Guys, they can ask you which one of the following organization release World Economic Outlook? IMF, World Bank, World Economic Forum and World Trade Organization, WTO. Okay, in that condition, World Economic Forum, they can release the World Economic Outlook. Okay, yes. Yeah, special drawing rights, special drawing rights. Okay, these are the currencies. Our country is there, 190 countries are there. They can preserve, they can give the certain amount of money, they can secure in the IMF, mean the assets which can restore in the IMF, like our rupee, right? So special drawing rights are in the form of 5 currencies only. 5 currencies only we can preserve the money in the IMF. What are the 5 currencies? This is the PYQ, guys. They did ask previous year question. Special drawing rights in the IMF reserve. What are the currencies? Okay, currencies names, guys. It is the international reserve assets created by IMF for every nation. That is USD, like US dollar and euro and Chinese yuan and Japan yen and British pound. These are the 5 currencies are there, special drawing right IMF reserves. Okay, they can ask you in the coming exam, guys, what are the SDRs? What are the SDRs? Are 5 currencies only, that is USD and euro and Chinese yuan and Japan yen and pound. Okay, British pound. SDR is not a currency, but it is used for the IMF accounting and exchange. IMF accounting and exchange. One SDR value is 1.33 USD, guys. One SDR value is 1.33 USD. Okay, that is the asset of every nation of IMF, guys. Okay, in the IMF. Okay, I hope you guys understand what are the SDRs. Okay, one SDR is equal to $1.33. Okay, this SDR are there 5 currencies like USD and euro, yuan and yen and British pound. Okay? Yes. Current affairs relevant to the IMF. Christina Georgievas is the IMF chairman right now, and India growth rate prediction of IMF in 2025 is 6.8. It is revised into the 6.3. Yeah, IMF they can estimate the growth rates of every nation. Estimate the growth rate of every nation. According to the IMF Indian growth rate, they can ask you in the exam. According to the IMF Indian growth rate in 2025, how much? 6.3. It is, of course, it is a good score. Of course, it is a good score. 6.3, it is not an ordinary thing. 6.3 India, if the growth, it is good. Okay, good sign. IMF warns the global inflation risk. IMF can warning to the nations inflation risk. If India there is any chances to inflation, IMF going to give the directions and give the information about inflation. Okay, yeah. IMF, which is the several African nations debt restructuring and climate finance. IMF give the money to the African countries and to develop the climate change, also secure the climate change also. Okay, if any climate change disturbances or any disasters took place, IMF take the responsible. IMF and World Bank hold the spring meeting 2025. Okay, digital currencies, debt distresses and green transition. Okay, these are the key responsibilities of IMF, guys. Okay, I hope you guys understand. If you don't understand, please raise the comment in the comment section. Okay, yes. Yeah, quick prelims points. IMF member countries are 90, headquarters is Washington DC, managing director is Christina, and India rank is 8th of IMF. India is founded country. Okay, IMF is the founding on the Bretton Woods conference. Okay, special drawing right is the currency of IMF. Okay, these are the key points for prelims, guys. Yes, we are going to discuss some MCQs relevant current trend exams. Okay, yes. Where is the headquarter of IMF located? Washington DC. Headquarter is IMF located in the Washington DC, guys. Washington DC. Okay. Which of the following is not IMF function? IMF lending to the countries, of course, monitoring in the fiscal policy, of course, printing the currency, publishing the economic report. Printing the currency, IMF, no. Okay, this is answer. This is not function of IMF. Lending loans to the countries, of course. Monitoring the fiscal policy, of course, financial statement and fiscal statements they can monitor of every country. Okay, what they can give subsidies and they can give the taxes. Okay, everything is IMF going to give the directions. And publishing economic reports, of course, World Economic Outlook. Okay, World Economic Outlook. World Economic Outlook they can publish, guys. Okay, yes. So answer is, this is what? Third is the answer, which is not. Okay, yes. Next, IMF reserve currency is unit called. IMF reserve currency SDRs, special drawing rights. Okay, SDRs. 5 currencies, guys. 5 currencies. What are the 5 currencies? What are the 5 currencies? China yuan, okay, Japan yen, British pound, and this America USD. Okay, these are the 5 special drawing rights. Okay, yes. Next, Which of the following institution is known as the International Bank Reconstruction and Development? Of course, World Bank institution, IBRD. IBRD is the IBRD. It is the institution of World Bank. It is the institution of World Bank. Okay? Yeah. The main objective of International Monetary Fund. Of course, promotion international trade also objective. Provide long term loan. No, long term loan is wrong. Long term loan give the World Bank only. Stabilize exchange rates and provide short term loans to the capital member countries is the right answer, accurate answer. Okay? Eradicate poverty, that is the main goal of World Bank. Okay? Main goal of World Bank. Yeah. Next question. Which of the following countries has the largest voting power in the IMF? USA. IMF, USA. Why it is voting power USA? Mean they can secure more special drawing rights. Mean there is a USA currencies more in the IMF. Yeah, that why. Okay. Which of the following is not part of the World Bank group? IMF is not part of World Bank group. IBRD, IDA, IFC is the World Bank. 5 member institutions are there, right? IMF is separate member. IMF is separate group, guys. Okay? Yes. Which year was IMF established? IMF established is 1945, 1944, but came into force 1945. 1944 established, came into force 1945. The headquarter of IMF is Washington DC. IMF and World Bank also. IMF and World Bank, both headquarters are Washington DC. Okay? Yes. India is the member of which of the following? Both member, IMF and World Bank, both member is India. Which of the following World Bank institution focus on lending private sector? IFC. IFC is the they can give the loans to the private companies only. Okay? Yes. MIGA is what, IBRD is what, IDA is what, you have to go through once, guys. Yeah. Which of the following provides loans for the low income countries to zero or very low interest rates? IDA. IDA. This is group of World Bank, one of the group of World Bank, IDA. Okay? Special drawing rights are the associated with IMF, okay? SDRs. Yeah, next PYQ, previous year questions, guys. PYQ are the previous year questions. I did take some. Okay? Yeah. With the reference International Monetary Fund, IMF, consider the following statement. IMF provides loans countries only foreign countries, only foreign currencies. Only foreign currencies. Yeah, of course, that is 5 types SDRs. 5 types of SDRs. Okay? Dollar, yen, yuan, pound. Okay? These are the special drawing right currencies, guys. Okay? Yes. IMF imposes structural adjustment policies on countries seeking to assistance. Which statement is given? Yeah, adjustment policies, right? Financial statements they can adjust. Okay? Both 1 and 2 are the right answers, guys. Okay? This is innovative questions, UPSC question, right? Yes. Yeah, next. Okay? Yeah, next. UPSC prelims 2017, guys. okay, which with reference of the World Bank, consider the following statements. World Bank comprises two institutions, IBRD and IDA. India is the largest borrower from the World Bank. Of course, that is right. World Bank, consider the following statement. World Bank comprises two institutions, IBRD, IDA. Of course, okay. Statement given are correct. Only one. Only one is the answer. Only one. India is the largest borrower of World Bank. No, not largest. There are many countries. There are many like inflation countries take largest money from the World Bank. India is one of the largest, not above top. Okay. Yes. This is critical question, guys. Okay. World Bank comprises two institutions, IBRD, IDA. Yeah, of course. TSPSC Group 1 question. Which of the following institutions provide technical and financial assistance for the development projects? Okay. If you come across the word development, this is World Bank. Word development is World Bank. Okay. Yeah. Development mean World Bank. This is key word. World Bank is development and IMF is emergency. Okay. Yes. And UPSC prelims 2015, with the reference to the International Monetary Financial Committee, consider the following statement. Okay. International Monetary Financial Committee discusses matters of concerning effect of global economy. Of course, it is the decision making body. No, it is not a decision making body. It can be give the directions. Okay. Yes. Only one is the right answer. Only one is the right answer, guys. Okay. SSC CGL. The Bretton Woods twins are referred to the IMF and World Bank. Okay. IMF and World Bank. I hope you guys understand this financial institutions, most important financial institutions. Okay. We discussed. And one day we will discuss in the later sessions, we are going to discuss about the reports of World Bank, IMF and World Economic Forum, WTO, any financial institutions and any environmental institution. If they give the report during this session like 2025-2024, recent current affairs reports, we are going to discuss reports and indexes, guys. Tomorrow we are going to take another important international organizations. Okay, you guys has to attend the classes, and if you like the video, you can like it and share it, guys. Thank you so much.